next station is TEDxSJEC, and the doors will open in 3, 2, 1. Please mind the gap while deboarding. Namaskara, Solmelu, and hello everyone. I'm Badekkila Pradeep, an actor, model, voice artist, and a lyricist in Kannada, English, Telugu, Hindi, Tulu, and so on. I have been voiceovering for multiple shows in the last couple of years. Mainly, you have heard my voice in Kannada Big Boss as the narrator voice, and also the Namma Metro voice, and so on. But when did I find my voice? Let me try to take you on that journey today. Come with me. Well, before we delve into my journey as a voice artist, let's try to understand what's voice acting and who is a voice actor. Voice acting is nothing but giving life to words. Otherwise, scripts are nothing but just a set of words. But a voice actor gives life to the words by expressing them in the right possible way. And usually a voice artist narrates the story of others. But here, for a change, I have come to narrate my story. So let me begin by telling my story from my school days. I started as an average student. I was not great at whatever I was studying. I failed my 12th. I had taken up science. I didn't know what to do. I sat at home, not sure what to do the next year. I failed in thinking about what should be done, like most of us. But without sulking, I tried to figure out what should be done next and made use of that 1 year, that gap year, and made sure that I explored the opportunity and I tried to get closer to life. And I was someone who was very interested in channelizing my thoughts. And I wanted to make sure that I went behind that thought and I got into journalism. I joined St. Aloysius College. I took up journalism, English major, communicative English. I was all excited because I finally got to do something that I wanted to do, right? But there was another challenge. I came from a Kannada medium. I did not know how to form a proper sentence in English. So I was nervous, in front of my my friends and classmates and my lecturers. I didn't know what to do, how to face the crowd. But I was relentless. In fact, even today, I try to keep that fire in me, which keeps me going. I try to be a better communicator in whatever language that I try to learn. In my college days, I was not only active in the college activities, but I was also interning in various newspapers like Vijay Karnataka, Hosadiganta, Sanjayvani, and also a few cable TV channels of the time. And I was the unofficial PR person of our department those days. For someone who did not have the courage to utter a sentence on stage, and for someone who could not muster a proper sentence in English, like how I fumble now, I was even worse those days. I was slowly yet steadily finding my voice because with or without realizing it, I was exploring life and what's worth living for. Okay, let's fast forward to my professional life. From these experiences as an intern in various newspapers and everything, I got a chance to be a part of a first ever Kannada 24-hour news channel TV9 Kannada. I got to be a reporter, anchor, and most importantly, a voice artist. Something that got me an opportunity to get so much love in the coming years from everyone across the state and beyond. Again, did that happen easily? I struggled. Because even though Kannada was my mother tongue, I fumbled. I made mistakes in every sentence I uttered as a reporter, as an anchor, and a voice artist. But besides these ups and downs, I kept going. And one fine day, the channel went on air. We had a lot of preparations. We had a lot of practice and everything. And the channel goes on air and we get our first ever commercial. And we all hear the sponsor tag before the commercials are played, right? So they come with the script and they asked me to record it. And the line went like, ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಸಹ ಪ್ರಾಯೋಜಕರು. And I give the recording to them and they start playing it on the channel. And I thought they will play it for a couple of days and there was very senior artists, so they would replace it with their voice, but they didn't. In fact, they are still using that voice even today after about 18 years of having recorded that for the channel. Until that happened, I was not aware that voiceover or voice acting could be a career option too. But from that moment, I realized that I should do something about it and I should work towards making this my career option. So I started working towards it. And as cliche as it may sound, success never comes easily, isn't it? After multiple rounds to the studios and numerous rejections, I was slowly trying to find some light, some opportunities here and there. And finally, on one hand, I was working as a reporter, and on the other, I slowly moved to various other opportunities as an anchor, actor, model, and everything. But on the other hand, I was working towards becoming a better voice artist. By the time I came to the Kannada entertainment channel Star Suvarna, I became the promo chief there. I also became the voice of the channel, and I also got the opportunity to do the voiceovers for some of the greatest game-changing shows of the time on the Kannada television industry, like Pyate Hudigir Halli Lifeu, Halli Haida Pyateg Banda, Pyate Mandi Kadig Bandru, and many more such shows. And I am grateful enough to these opportunities and beyond. Probably in the last 10-15 years, I have been lucky enough to be a part of such great shows and be the voice of those shows. Let's get into that in a little while later. But let's get into something, more important to my heart. That is this thought, which says, or which goes like, I go with the flow and I try to flow with the glow. We all have to go with the flow, isn't it? But I always want to be that drop of water that shines to the sun rays. And I kept trying to do something every year, like something new. I started off as a reporter, as an anchor in the first year. And the next year, I was an RJ in a radio station. And the next year, I was a lyricist for a band. And as an actor the next year, and I was a model the next year, and so on and so forth. Did I excel in all this? Maybe not. But looking back, I have the satisfaction today that I have tried to do things that I always wanted to do in my life. That's something very important to me, according to whatever I have seen, no regrets. That's something, keeps me going even today. People kept asking me what you want to be in the next 5 years or 10 years. I kept telling them, I don't want to have regrets. I don't want to, look back and say that I got an opportunity to do this, but I did not take up. So looking back, I don't have such regrets. And then in 2011, Bengaluru was about to get its first ever metro line. I was lucky enough to become the voice of the metro. So if and when you go to Bengaluru next, make it a point to get into Namma Metro to hear me say something like whatever you heard in the beginning, or more on the lines of the next station is Indira Nagar and the doors will open on the left. Please mind the gap while deboarding. And then came the next big thing, Big Boss Kannada. By that time, I was the voice of Colors Kannada, which used to be ETV Kannada. So they launched this show and I got to be the narrator voice of the show, where you hear me say, Vina, Vandu, Ratri, Entu Muattu. But let's get real. Let's get into this situation, and which would go like, Dina 14, ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ 11:52, ಇಲ್ಲಿ TEDxSJEC ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ. I have given thousands and thousands of voiceovers like this in the last so many years, about 18, 19 years. But I have never kept a count of how many voiceovers I have done. The only thing that I have kept a count on, though, was my commitment towards each and every script and trying to give life to those, every word and sentences that were there, and trying to make sure it reaches the hearts of the listener. But how do you reach the hearts of the listener? Over the years, I have realized something very important in life, that voice is not just about the sound that we make, but it's all about the extension of who we are, whether it's in a recording studio or on a stage like this, or in our day-to-day communication. The way we use our voice can create a deep impact on the people around us. Let me ask you this. Have you ever felt a lump in your throat when you needed to express the most important thing in life, but the voice betrayed you? Or struggled to find the right words to say to someone you care about? It happens to all of us, isn't it? But there is always something that we can do about this. Because the beauty of human voice is that it's trainable, adaptable, and above all, it's unique to all of us. How do we find our voice? Well, firstly, we'll have to start by listening. When I say listening, it's not just about listening to others, it's also about listening to ourselves. What are we listening? What are we saying? And what are we listening when we say something to people also matters. And secondly, practice speaking with intent, whether it's expressing love, apologizing with sincerity, or even presenting your ideas in a meeting. Your voice carries your truth. And when you speak from the heart, people will listen. People will trust you. It's not just the words you say, it's how you say them. That's what matters. Think about the voices that stick with you, the ones that guide you. Be that voice for someone else. Speak in a way that leaves a mark. Whether you are addressing a crowd or whispering to a friend. And one last thing, very, very, very important. At least in my life, this has worked. My journey was filled with stumbles, missteps, and moments where I doubted myself. But those imperfections are what make what we are, isn't it? So, I leave you guys with this. Find your voice, nurture it, use it to express yourself. Because when you do, you'll realize that your voice isn't just about speaking, it's about being heard, understood, and remembered. The next station is your own journey, and as the doors open, I hope you'll step forward with your voice leading the way. Thank you.